Hey there. So today we're going to jump right into the next video in this social emotional learning series. And this is where we really dive into the first of the 11 competencies. So today we are looking at and talking about growth mindset. So what is growth mindset? Well, simply put, it's the belief that we can develop our abilities and our intelligence through hard work, perseverance, dedication. It's that idea that we can learn to do new things, things that we don't know how to do yet, right? And we all know that that word is so important when it comes to growth mindset. So I want to share um, just loads of growth mindset activities and books with you that you can use with kids. So there are just so many cool activities that you can do to support learning about growth mindset, whether you are doing this at home with your kids or in a classroom. So we'll talk through each of these just really quickly. The my mistake plan is having a plan for when you make mistakes. So what's the worst thing that can happen if you try this? You make a mistake. Okay, so what do we do when we make that mistake? What are we going to do? How will we handle that? Teaching kids to reframe their negative statements or thoughts, right? So I do this at my house with my kids where they say something negative and I say, oh, hey, why don't you think about it this way? And we reframe it into something positive, or even just add the word yet. We hear this a lot from kids. I can't do my 9 times tables yet. You can't do them yet. Gratitude ABCs, gratitude journal, these are very similar. The research shows that we get a lot of benefits from purposefully having gratitude for things. So we can do this through keeping a journal. We can do this through ABCs. What I mean by that is going through each letter and thinking of something that we're grateful for that starts with that letter. We can challenge our kids each day, have some sort of daily challenge, something that wouldn't be necessarily easy for them to do, to build up that idea of having perseverance and sticking with something. Have kids create their own vision boards. This goes along with goal setting, this last one. What are the things that they want out of this school year or this new year? What do they want out of life? And then setting goals for how we're going to get those things. How do we use our gifts to help others? So maybe we're not really great at something, but there are things that we are good at, and we can use that to help others reach their goals. There are lots of growth mindset videos out there that you can use with kids. There are also lots of really cool stories about famous failures, people that were trying to do something or invent something and they failed, or they accidentally invented something different. Silly Putty is a great example of this. You can find the story of Silly Putty and how it was accidentally invented. Having or keeping an accomplishment jar or chart for when we do accomplish things and we're keeping track of it, to remind kids of those small wins that we kind of need to keep track of to keep ourselves going, right? Growth mindset writing prompts. We can embed these into our writing instruction. Creating an anchor chart of what does growth mindset look like versus a fixed mindset. Having that up as a visual reminder. Having conversations with kids about how we're always learning at different stages of life, right? Even as adults, we are learning to do new things that we're not necessarily all that great at. There are also lots of growth mindset affirmations that kids can use. The 3-2-1 exercise is an example of this would be maybe talking about 3 things that we are really good at, 2 things that we want to work more on, and one thing that we just learned recently. You can use the 3-2-1 exercise for literally millions of different combinations of activities or questions, so you can make it fit your needs. And then the last one on the list is productive struggle. Having conversations with kids about how important productive struggle is. And what I mean by that is how we can learn when we are struggling. Great example of this is how we learn from our mistakes doing a math problem. And we can analyze a problem and see where we went wrong. Was it a calculation error? Did we apply a formula incorrectly? And that can be very, very productive and help us learn a lot. So switching now from activities to books, these are just some of my favorite books for having a conversation about growth mindset with kids. There are so many wonderful picture books out there. So this is certainly not an exhaustive list, of course. But a lot of Peter Reynolds' books are great, The Dot and Ish. Let's see, gosh, there are just so many to choose from. The She Persisted books are wonderful. There are just so many. The Most Magnificent Thing is one of my favorites. I know I have lots of favorites, right? The list, it just goes on and on. So here are some books. Diane Alber's books, if you have not read any of them, I'm not just a scribble is on this list, but oh my goodness, she has so many that are just perfect for having a conversation or using as a springboard for a growth mindset conversation or activity. So hopefully you got some good ideas from this video, and I will be back next time, and we are going to move into the competency of acceptance and diversity. So I hope that you will join me back here then. Until next time, I hope you have a great day and week.